Once upon a time, there was a turtle. His name was Hypotenuse, and he never believed what anybody told him. If you said the water was hot, he'd dip his tail in to find out.
Ooh, it's hot!
If you told him the water was cold, he'd sprinkle some on his stomach to see.
Oh, it's cold.
He was always getting into trouble, but he never stopped asking questions. One day, Hypotenuse Turtle went to his mother.
Mother, what are stars?
Hypotenuse, can't you see I'm busy minding the other turtles? If you want to know what stars are, you go find out for yourself.
Well, all right, I will.
Now, the stars are very, very, very far away, and Hypotenuse knew he would have to travel very, very, very fast in order to get there. So he built himself a scooter. Not an ordinary scooter, but an atomic scooter.
I'll be so swift you'll hardly know when I come or when I go.
That scooter had to go almost as fast as light itself, 186,000 miles a second. And nothing can travel faster than that.
First, I'll fill the tank with atom juice. Then I'll add a supercharger.
And just to make sure it would work, Hypotenuse scooted around the world 30 times. He went almost as fast as light, and it took him just this long.
Around the world 30 times? Just imagine!
But he went so very fast and got back so quickly that the other turtles didn't believe he'd gone at all.
They wouldn't believe me.
That made Hypotenuse very angry. So he climbed back into his atomic scooter.
I'll show those turtles. I'll scoot up to a star. That's what I'll do. And I'll bring back a great big piece of it. Then they'll believe me. I guess I'll start with the moon. It's closest. Well, here I go!
Hypotenuse, wait!
But Hypotenuse didn't wait, and the next thing he knew, there he was on the moon.
On the moon!
But when Hypotenuse looked around him, the moon just didn't look like a star. It was big and round and covered with empty deserts and jagged mountains.
Very jagged mountains!
There was no air, no wind, no water. There were no plants, no animals.
Nothing!
The yellow light from the sun made the day hot as an oven. The night was colder than ice.
Colder than ice!
So he scooted right home, and he landed right in front of Grandpa Turtle, who was older and wiser than anybody, and knew 100 times more about everything. Grandpa Turtle shook his head and asked,
"Young fella, I hear you've been trying to scoot up to the stars. What did you find?"
I found the moon, Grandpa, but it didn't look like a star.
Oh, of course not, my boy. The moon isn't a star, and a lucky thing for you that it isn't. If you went anywhere near a real star, you'd sizzle up quicker than a drop of water on a hot stove. Just like that. Real stars are balls of fiery gases. Some of them so heavy you couldn't lift a glassful with a steam shovel. And there are others so light that a whole houseful wouldn't weigh as much as a feather.
But if I can't go near one, how can I find out what stars are?
That's easy. If you'll put that scooter away, I'll take you to a special place where we can find out all about the stars.
So, for the first time in his whole life, Hypotenuse Turtle decided to listen to somebody else. He put away his brand new scooter, and taking Grandpa Turtle by the hand, he asked,
Where are we going, Grandpa?
You'll see, young fella. You'll see.
It was night. Grandpa Turtle and Hypotenuse were walking up a steep hill when suddenly Hypotenuse asked,
Ooh, Grandpa, what's this big round building?
It's an observatory.
An observatory?
Yes, Hypotenuse, and we're going inside to find out all about the stars.
Gee, it's so big.
Hypotenuse was right. It was so big that when he called out, he could hear his echo.
Hypotenuse turtle! Hypotenuse turtle!
There were so many wonderful and strange things to see that soon Hypotenuse forgot all about his echo. First he saw the great long telescope. It stretched up and up, right through the ceiling.
Grandpa, I can see right through to the sky.
Hypotenuse, through that window, the eye of the telescope looks at the stars.
Gee, what a big clock. And listen to all the other clocks.
My boy, those clocks keep the telescope pointed at any special star we want to watch. Now, if you're real careful, I'll let you look through the telescope. But first, what color are the stars?
Ah, Grandpa, that's an easy one. They're sort of silvery. Everyone knows that.
Are they? Let's take a look and see. Up you go into the seat.
Oh, there.
Now I'll start the motor that points the telescope. There. Now look.
Gee. Why, Grandpa, there's a bright red star. And a green one right beside it. And there's another one, a blue star. And a gold one. Oh, they're just like the lights on the Christmas tree. Oh, boy, I wish the other turtles could see this.
You see, Hypotenuse, they're not all silvery as you thought. Now we can take the light from the stars and break it up into a rainbow of many different colors. And from those different colors, we know how hot a star is and what it is made of.
Gee, what are stars made of?
Elements, my boy. The same ones that we have right here on Earth. Nitrogen, oxygen, iron, and tin. Helium, hydrogen, just to begin. We also have carbon and barium, too. And copper and silver, to mention a few.
That would make a funny song. Nitrogen, oxygen, iron, and tin. Helium, hydrogen, just to begin. We also have carbon and barium, too. And copper and silver, to mention a few. Oh, Grandpa, look, there's a shooting star, and it's falling.
No, my boy. If you see it moving, it's not a star. Probably a little chunk of rock that bumped into the air and got so hot it burned up. There are a lot of things in the sky that aren't stars. Chunks of rock and big round balls of stone like the moon and like this world we're sitting on.
Well, isn't there any star that's real close?
Yes. There's one that's only 93 million miles away. Look. There it is now, coming up from behind the mountains.
Grandpa, you better put on your spectacles. That isn't a star. That's the sun.
Sure, it's the sun. But the sun's a star, too. Just a nice, middle-bright, middle-sized star. It looks big because it's so close.
Oh, I like the sun. It feels so good and warm.
Indeed it does. But it's been a long night for a young turtle. Suppose we go home so you can take a nap, huh? The stars their secrets now have told. Why some are silver, green, and gold. We know they're big and hot and far. And why the moon is not a star.
The moon is not a star.
Then Grandfather Turtle took Hypotenuse by the hand, and together they started down the hill towards home.